Alrighty, good heaving heavy bodies. It's me again. How y'all doing? Tonight I am again. Say this all the time. It was my full intention to be on this afternoon, and just I have a lot of problems. I work late. I'm up late. I get up very late in the morning / afternoon, and because my sleeping is bad, I end up sleeping part of the afternoon away, and it's just because I need some sleep in order to function. And then next thing you know, it's almost night again. So that kind of threw my day completely off, and I had a whole bunch of stuff I wanted to do for this. It's been difficult. We all know the deal, though, right? I've talked about this many times, and if you're watching this and you're new to this channel, I can't keep a schedule. It's not even for just having poor skills as far as time management. It's just you have to have the proper time first before you can start managing it, and I don't even have that, and that's to do with work and my life. But those of you who watch regularly, which I'm sure if you're watching this in the repeat, since I don't have any viewers at the moment, that's the only way people are going to watch this. You've heard it all before, so I'm just gonna shut the hell up. So listen, the other reason too today is that I made an order to the Amazons because it was their big Prime Day special, as you know, that went by, which Prime Day is now 3 days. I think it's Prime Days they call it now, because it does go for about 2, 3, 4 days. And I took advantage of it, even though I really don't have the money to do that. But I did anyways. There was about 5 things I really wanted, and I kind of came down to having to get just 2. And I seriously, I'm going to get some nicer lights for the backdrop, and I should have maybe got that. That'll be next. That'll come soon. Maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll to get a little bit of ambient, because it's nice. I wanted the white. I like the white, but I think for YouTube videos, I'm going to add a little bit of the nice kind of fun lighting. I used to have those strip lights back in my old apartment. I used to have those strip lights that went around the living room / studio, which I really liked. But the problem is those things start burning out, and you end up with huge gaps within a few months. So you lose the color spectrum, you lose the lights. They're crap. I probably won't go back to those, which is too bad, because I did like them. They kind of crapped out on me. So I'm looking for a different solution to kind of like the set, so to speak. But I did get 2 other things. The other thing I also passed on is I would like a nice set of headphones. Don't even need anything expensive. I know they can be 3 digits for a good set of headphones. I was looking at something that was only $40, and I should have got that too. But eventually, I still have my little earbuds for now that just kind of annoy me. But let's open this up. I haven't even opened it yet, and I thought, no. Holy geez, I need to start using the gym. Because I live in Canada, of course, you have to have French on everything. So, but here's the deal. Let's get a knife. I need a blade of some sort to cut this open, and I'll show you what I got. I'm going to say, don't just tell them, show them. And I should have had this ready ahead of time. Where is my knife? I'll have to use the scissors. Oh, no, here we go. Yeah, the kniffy. So my dad used to call it. Get a kniffy or skizzers. But we'll cut this bad boy open from Amazon's. I'll show you what I wasted on that. Well, hopefully I didn't waste it. One thing I did definitely need, and it's what started this, was something very specifically I did need. And so I was recommended this particular type of item, and I was going to go with a little more expensive brand, but Neewer had one that was a little bit cheaper, but it was the exact same thing. And this is it here. And now here, I'll show you the other one since it's here. Oh, this is nice. I like the packaging on this. I picked up and ordered myself a gimbal for the iPhone. I really wanted a gimbal for the for my for my camera, for my Nikon camera, or Nikon, however you want to pronounce it. I wanted that, but those start at like nearly $300 and go up from there. So yeah, a gimbal for a camera is some money. This was on for like 70. So I picked up, this is the DJI Osmo Mobile SE. Didn't get the 6, didn't get the 7. I just got the SE because it's all I really need. I didn't need all the big fancy bells and whistles. I just wanted something a little bit better than a selfie stick to put the phone on. So that bad boy I picked up, and I'm going to have fun with that tomorrow after work. Box. I'll show you what this is. It is a newer. I might need to untape this as well. It's a shame I don't have anybody watching at this moment. It's kind of nice when you can do this. Maybe it's because it's Saturday. Is it because it is Saturday and people do things? They have a life Saturday nights. They go out, they party, and they celebrate, and they have a few drinks. They have relatives over. And oh, I forgot. I played the wrong intro. I might maybe later on play the... I have to upload it. I might end up doing a second part to this later on. Oh, actually, no, I can't save the intro because I'm going to be doing this again over the weekend. Here in Canada land, it is our Thanksgiving that we have. And I have like a Thanksgiving intro. I have one for Thanksgiving and one for Halloween, and I always forget to play that. I don't understand how this is wrapped. Good gobs of goobly gook. How did they do this? I'm just going to have to cut this. I didn't really want to cut in this because I didn't want to scratch the box up. The box looks really nice, and if the box is like a nice storage case for it, then maybe I'd kind of like to keep that. But sometimes I like to keep the box in good condition. Also, I know it's stupid, but for resale, eventually if you end up upgrading to a better model of something that you're getting, and you keep the box and you keep the instructions, you keep all the stuff, you keep it with it, you can maintain a little bit of extra value to it, as opposed to just, the box is gone, the instructions are gone, everything's gone, and you see it on, I don't know, Facebook Marketplace or wherever you add it, and it's just this open thing you've taken a picture of. But if you've got the box and you set it in the box and display it, and it looks like it's hardly been used, I don't know, you can get a little more, you can feel like you can ask a little more back for it. So that is why I kind of like to keep boxes for things. I don't know if it really means getting much more for it, but because let's face it, people like to haggle on those things anyways. Oh, this really is okay. Boy, they really package this. Almost overly packaged it, but I guess it does protect it. I'd rather it be a little over packaged and protected in a box than... It's heat sealed. That's part of the problem, is that part of it is just the plastic is melted. It's been heat sealed. The packaging is heat sealed shut, so it kind of wraps it, because there's another wrapper around this. So there we go. I don't know if you can read that. It's a wireless microphone. CM28, newer CM28. It is a lapel, those little rectangular lapel mics, because I have been using this Labatt Labatt Blue. No, it's an ice ball blue. You can maybe drink beer out of it. I don't know, but it is an ice ball blue microphone that does work fairly decently. It's not bad. I just found that since I moved to this spot, I don't know if it's because I have lower ceilings and closer walls. I'm in a more confined space, and I found that this was just not sounding right. Even before it was okay, but not great. I have a Logitech Brio, and the mics on these things are not great. They're kind of horrible. But they work. You can hear me. You can hear me all right. And so I got this to try and sound better. And as I've been talking to people and asked people about the sound quality that is coming through, and I would switch back and forth between the Logitech Brio mic and this thing, and everybody was like, I can't tell the difference. And when I played back some of my videos, I noticed the sound is not fantastic. And I've been recommended up and down to get, well, first of all, I should say I should have been recommended a lot to use a Rode mic, and I thought of getting a Rode, just a good, like a shotgun mic or just a simple desk mic, right? A podcasting mic. I'm not a podcaster here. I didn't want one of those that hang down in front of my face or come up in front of my face with a big shield and like I look like a radio announcer. Didn't want that because I'm going to be drawing, I'm going to be doing things. I wanted something slightly out of the way, and this was always kind of nicely just here on the desk. And you might see it kind of peek up a little bit in the odd shot, but I wasn't too worried about that as long as it was out of the way. That's kind of I like I said, I wanted something that wasn't intrusive in the shot, right? And I do have a lapel mic, but it's an older one, and it was originally for my iPhone 8. And it has a jack that plugs in, the old style jack that you plugged in. And I have an Mac Mini. It's an M1 Mac Mini that does not use the headphone jacks anymore like that because it's all wireless. So I knew I would have to go wireless, and I was told many times to go with a wireless microphone. And so I started looking into these. And Newer just happened to have a brand that was on for $60. I think there's 2 plus the receiver. Like there's 3 items in it. And I'm going to have to cut this one open, but I want to do it very carefully. I do like the packaging on this. Both of these, I really like the packaging. So, where was I going with this? I needed a new mic, and that's what I got. But I'm going, instead of having something on my desk, and it's wired. This thing is also wired. It's plugged in. So the nice thing is when I have it attached, it's wireless. There's still a USB piece you have to plug in the back, but and you're going to have like a little thing on me, but it shouldn't be that shouldn't be that intrusive as long as it stays on like the collar, whatever I've got. This is an awful shirt. I shouldn't have wore this. I need new clothes. That's what I need. There we go. Been yapping my face off, yammering away. And but I do like to try and keep, as I said, I like to try and keep the boxes in good condition. So let's have a look. Is it taped or does it flop open? How does this open up? It feels kind of a little stiff, and I don't want to force it. Find out that there's tape on it, keeping it together. Or if it opens like a direction, right? Oh, it does, I think. 1 second. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Haha. All right. I need something that's up a bit higher like this so that I don't have like a desk or anything, right? But if this is too low, I don't have like a proper showing desk. But I do like the way this is. There's a bit of foam in here. You got the instructions, the stuff that keeps it, I guess, from going. It says don't throw away and don't eat. Oh, throw away, don't eat. All right. Well, oh, they're small. Okay. And there's a nice pack there. So the unveiling. Poof. I imagine these as being a little bit bigger. But that's nice, actually, that they are small. This is really nice. They did a nice job with the packaging. They're all in a nice foam in this. This is why I like to keep the packages. I don't throw them out. Look at that. I was almost going to open it and set it up for the show today, and I decided, well, no, I'll do an unboxing, and this will be the last one with the blue, provided this works with the Mac. As long as she works, then I'm going to switch to this for the next show. I'm going to set her down. Look at this. You get a nice little bag with it. So I need something right here. Can I take this box? Upside down. All right. Oh, look at this. Magic pouch. And I think this is the connection cords, charging cords, your USB connectors, all the cords, every possibility is here. Look at this. And one of these don't eat but throw away. Now I will go through the instructions, and oh, there's a bit of a fuzzy thing to block wind. They call them the dead cats. That's kind of a small one. I call that one a full cat, but this is really, really nice. These look super nice. Now we'll find out the quality though. Next for the next show, we'll see what they sound like. I won't be able. Well, I'll do a test first, and before I go live. And there is 2 pieces of foam, but they're just glued together. I'm really impressed with this. These look really nice. I can see this. You can see the little mic in the top. My eyes are not very good. The MC connector, record link. There's a connector at the bottom. I don't know if there's no charger with it. But it looks like it's funny. They've got these at the bottom, these 2 little metal things that look like they should connect for charging, but there's no charger for it. So I don't know what those are for. There's cords, and I'm presuming you plug it into charge? I don't know. Or do you have to buy a charger separate? We'll find out. I'll have to go through the instructions and find out. But this is, I could probably put it up like this, and I don't know how intrusive that is. That's not bad, right? I mean, it's not going to be straight, obviously. It's like this, because the mic's down here, but it's going to point that direction. But if it picks up whatever's in this area, that might work out just fine. And it's there. You can see it's a mic, but lots of people use these in their videos, and nobody cares anymore, right? It's not like I'm going to be running or jumping or diving or anything in my video. So that I'm really impressed with this. I'm very, very impressed with this. And I got a couple of viewers at the moment, which is nice to see. Now, let me see if I can put this back. The pouch. The pouch doesn't want to fit back in. Should I also open up? That doesn't want to go. How did they put that back in? This pouch does not want to fit back in properly. Now that it's taken out, I'll put this guy back till we're ready to go. But it will kind of lay across the top. That's fine, as long as I can close it back up. It's not. Oh no, that goes back on. And I might have to leave the pouch out. Because it doesn't fit back in. Okay, we'll have to leave the pouch out. That's fine. we'll figure all that out later. All right. So since I got a couple of people viewing, I think. Again, that's the wireless CM28. There's 2 mics plus the receiver, and I think the 2 mics, I believe you can actually have it on 2 different devices. If I was, say, setting up, I could have one for the computer for the live stream, and say I set up my camera separately, or an iPhone, I could have the other one. Apparently, that can be synced with that, and then you can have 2 different sources. I think that's what you're supposed to be able to do with it if you needed such. Or if I'm doing an interview with somebody. I think that's the other thing too, if I'm having like a one-on-one interview. Oh, and I don't want to forget this. Wireless microphone system. Yeah, we'll definitely have to go through all that after. Okay. That's kind of it for the moment. And I got this bad boy. What do you think? Should I take the plastic off this and open this up too? Have a look-see at it? It's got to open eventually. What do you think? You tell me. You decide. You decide. I wish I could have an echo at that point. You shall decide. I'm almost out of coffee here. It's almost 8:30. I shouldn't be drinking any more coffee after this anyway. This is the latest I should be having coffee. No wonder I'm up half the night. This is it's a Tim Hortons brand, but it's the instant Tim Hortons brand, which weirdly their instant actually tastes a little bit better than what I get from the store. Don't ask me why. I just maybe it's because I can make it to my own consistency. And I don't make it that strong. And instant apparently instant has a little less caffeine because it has already been pre-boiled, flash frozen, broken up into a little dehydrated rather than flash frozen. And then once it's been rehydrated again, it loses some caffeine in that process. So it's not quite as caffeinated as, say, like a fresh brewed pot when you use the instant. Sometimes I have tea in the evening because tea has even less caffeine. Still has some in it, just not as strong. We'll finish that off, put that aside. I want to have a look at this. I won't be able to do much with it. I have my phone open over at the side because there is a 10 to 15 second delay between what I'm doing here and then what you see on YouTube. There is a delay, and I like to open up my phone, see what's going on in you. So if somebody types something in, because after all, when you type it in, it's got to go to YouTube first, then over to me. So there's quite a delay between the moment somebody wants to respond to something I'm saying and then the moment it actually shows up here. So I open it up on my iPhone so I can see any messages come through, and then I can respond to it before it shows up in the Talk Studio chat, because there's going to be a delay. But anyways, what do you think? Should we do this? Hey, Mr. Scots Thinker, how you doing, sir? My Scottish friend. It's good to see you. I don't know if you just tuned in or not. I had ordered I ordered a couple of things from the Amazons. And I got a microphone, a newer lapel mic, because this microphone that I'm using now is not great, and also a one of these things for the phone, gimbals, and well, that's good. I'm glad you're doing well, sir. I'm gonna unpackage. I'm gonna take the wrapper off this and I'll have a look at it. But I'm kind of excited to start using this. Not sure on what, but I'm looking forward to it, and setting up the mic. And I do have a couple of things I want to talk about after as well. Yeah, some new tech. As I said, when Prime Day came up, there was about 5 things I really wanted to get that I kind of sort of did need, but I like one of them was to have some lights back here. I wanted some new lights to add some color to the backdrop and a little bit of ambiance. They'll come eventually. That'll be probably in a couple of weeks. I might get that. I also wanted like what are they? I guess earphones or not earbuds, but you know what I'm talking about. Just because I find it at work, having the little earbuds gets a little bit irritating in my ears after a while, and I thought maybe having like earphones, ear pads, whatever they're called, that might be, I don't know, a little more comfortable and maybe a little better sound. Okay, there's a little thing that says open. And this is this gimbal again is the DJI Osmo Mobile SE. It's not the 6, it's not the 7, it's the SE, which doesn't have quite as many bells and whistles, but I'm not really losing a lot with getting this one. But I am saving some money by getting this one, and that's always. I just needed something that I could put on a stick that was a little better than a selfie stick that could kind of move with what I'm doing and keep it steady and have a little bit of extra control with. And this was more than enough. So, and again, packaging again on these things are amazing. And the instructions when you open it up, there's instructions right inside. Apparently there's an app, but you don't need the app to use it. You can actually just kind of hook the phone up and go. The app, though, I think is there was some extra things with the app, and I know it was like extra. I think it's your instructions and user manual is the app, but otherwise for using it. So when I lift this up, you take this piece off, and I think this is your instructions in here, and there is. Look at this. Ooh, it's like a laser gun. Eventually, I will get around to doing some art on my art channel. This was the white. The weird thing is, it was maybe just for the Prime days. I don't know. They have like white, black, and slate gray. And the black and slate gray were way more expensive, even though it does the exact same thing. It's the exact same item, just a different color. But the light gray, look at that. Isn't that nice? I don't want to force it. Oh, no, it does. There we go. And then and then there's this which you clamp your phone onto. And oh, wow. That was a concern of mine. I thought it just attaches magnetically. And I was a little nervous about that. But wow, that is like, man, I'm surprised these things aren't like, oh, geez. This should be like shifting the rotation of the earth, this thing. Holy crap. Wow. That's one hell of a magnet. Good Lord. All right. So yeah, I'm not going to turn it on just yet because I think you do have to like charge it, and I want to learn a little bit more before I start playing with it too much. Oh, and it does come with this. This I guess works two purpose. It adds an additional handle, I guess, if you want a little extra length on it. This is really comfortable. The grip on this is really good. Some people said it was too big for the hip, but this is for me. And I know I'm a tall person, but I don't have that big of hands really actually for my size. I don't, but this is very comfortable. This is very, very nice. And this spreads out as legs, by the way, so it can just stand on its own and I can set it up and apparently you can move and it will track you. And a charging cord. So that's, and the instructions are all kind of right inside the front of the box. I need something, if I ever do this again, I need something up higher so that I'm right here and I can, and maybe the camera pointing down a bit more. I did not plan this very well. But anyway, so there it is. And if you're looking for something like this, I think it is still on sale on Amazon for, I know it's 75 Canadian. However that translates into currency for wherever you're from. Now I have to figure out how to fold this back again. There we go. Oh, I see. There's like a little plastic. It fits. This closes a certain way, and you can see the plastic lines up, I think, a certain way. I think that is very bizarre. I may have to leave it out and just fiddle with it later, so I don't do anything I regret here on the screen. Anyways, we'll leave that like that. It doesn't quite want to close back together, and I don't want to force it, is what I don't want to do. But I'll leave it like this for now, and I can play with that later on. Because eventually, I thought it came with a bag. Is there anything underneath this? It's supposed to have like a little bag with it, like the newer thing like this. It was supposed to have a bag with it, and I'm not seeing that here. There's nothing underneath the box. That just came with like the package, but I'm not seeing. Oh, there we go. So I had the packers the wrong way. Okay, we did get it. That is good. Let me see if there's something in this. Maybe there's something inside this. It's maybe been folded down flat or something, but it just feels like... Oh, there it is. Nope, it is actually in there. There it is. So you do get... Oh, God. Okay, there's other stuff. There's... Okay, we'll find out what those are later. There's your little instructions. And I get another fancy schmancy little bag. There's stickers, of all things. DJI stickers. And another thing that you're not supposed to eat. Throw away, do not eat. Like, as I said, I think those are just, I don't think, keep stuff from getting moldy or what they are. But all right, so let's, again, I'm going to put all this aside. I keep saying that, but I got to do this. I want to put it together properly here. I'm so glad I got this. I can't wait to try it out. I hope everything works. Nothing worse than when you get something and you've ordered it and you're looking forward to using it, and then the one you've got is defective. And that seems to be a piece of bad luck with me quite frequently. I don't know how many things I've gotten. I have the hiccups this evening. I do apologize. How many things I've gotten, and then it ends up I have to actually return it because it's defective. You contact the company, they walk you through it and talk for hours, and then it's just like, it seems you have a defective item. And you gotta send it back, and then they send another one, then you gotta wait, and they're just like, sorry. So, yeah. DJI Osmo Mobile SE gimbal. All right. Oh, and I forgot. Oh, well, that's fine. I will do all that later. Anyways. If you're watching this on replay or you were here at the beginning, as you know, I didn't use my normal Saturday opening. I used an opening last week that was supposed to be reminiscent of an old TV show I used to watch, and there's a piece of music by somebody named Spike Jonze, not the director. This is like an old musician from the 40s, like vaudeville, Broadway. He was a comedy performer and did this silly piece of music that I thought by this point would fall into public domain, but apparently it has not. So I did not get a strike, but I did get like a copyright notice. So if I ever get to monetize this channel, I wouldn't receive anything for it. So I'll have to find out about that, because I would like to use that piece of music, and if there's something I can get permission for it or whatnot, we'll see what I can do for that. Otherwise, I have to change the opening. That's why I went back to an older opening for now. Same thing with Oktoberfest is happening. Oh, how nice! Yeah. Gosh, I haven't been to one of those in ages. We do have them here, right? Like here in Canada. And there used to be a big one in London, Ontario when I was growing up. And we did, and I wasn't ever really much of a drinker, and neither was my dad. Believe it or not, my dad, when he was young and he was in the service, used to drink, but it was the 50s. There wasn't beer they drank a lot of. It was hard liquor they used to drink in the service. When I met my mom, she agreed to marry him if he promised not to drink, and he really loved her, and he held on to that promise. And in their years of marriage, in their 36 years of marriage, he was never drunk. He had the odd glass of wine. He was never a big fan of beer, though. So it was I had amazing parents that way. So, but yeah, we did go to some of the festivals just because he liked to go and get the sausage. But Oktoberfest is a lot of fun. Actually, this weekend here in Canada is our Thanksgiving. The American one is the end of November, but in Canada we have ours the second Monday of October. So it's our big Thanksgiving weekend. I'll be doing live streams all this weekend because I don't have much of a family anymore. They've all gone. So I'm going to be doing some live streaming over the weekend. But monetization, the dream state as a YouTuber. Yeah, it really is. It's not like you get a whole lot of money if you get monetized either. The reason I'd like to get to, there's 2 points. If you get 500 followers, you get the first level, and then when you get 1,000, you get the next level. There's just a lot of nice bells and whistles that come with it. It's not even so much about like thinking that you're going to be rolling in money when you reach like 1,000 subscribers and you're going to get all this. No, you don't get much. But it's just, I know it does open up for like extra stuff you can do with your channel, and also be nice to do these lives and have things like super chats. That kind of thing would be like a lot of fun. But I think that and thank you so much. Yeah, I'll be doing if you're around, we'll see. I don't know if my friend's working. Yeah, I think Monday I am going to do a live stream on Monday evening, I think. I wasn't sure if a friend of mine will be coming up from London or not, but no, I don't think he will be. But yeah, I'm not even really going to do any kind of big dinner, I don't think. Tomorrow, the funny thing is, because it's on a Monday, Thanksgiving is formally on a Monday. Growing up, family always got together and had the big meal on the Sunday night, and then Monday was just a day to relax and have leftovers. But we always had our big dinner on Sunday night, and you find actually a lot of Canadians do that. I like the Americans always think it's funny. It's like, oh, you have it so early; it's so close to Halloween. And I grew up with that. I mean, it was like Thanksgiving and then Halloween. They kind of went hand in hand for me, and I like the fact that we had, because Thanksgiving means it's another big meal, right? And the Americans have theirs right around the end of November, like less than a month away from Christmas. And I always thought, wow, so you get together with family, have a huge dinner, and then like less than a month later, you do it again. At least having it in the middle of October, you have a little over 2 months before you have to do that again. So we have a little more time. But I think it's so close that you have Halloween and then like Thanksgiving right after. I'm like, yeah. It's not like you have, unless you really, really like Halloween and you have like a Halloween dinner and you have guests over for that. Halloween is just a night to kind of party and dress up and just kind of have fun with it. But Thanksgiving was more the formal dinner, etc., right? But it's all fall stuff. It's all fall themed, and they just kind of went hand in hand. And so I always grew up and I was kind of liked that, and I prefer, actually. I'm glad we have it this way. I'm glad we have ours as early as we do, and it kind of, and then it gives us, once we have our Halloween, we have this nice gap. We have this nice 2-month gap to think about shopping and what we're going to do for the holiday season, and it just works out a little. I think it works out a little better for us this way. So yeah, that is that. I did have some things I wanted to talk about. and I wanted to just make a couple of announcements. Actually, speaking of which, why don't I do this now? I'm going to start doing like these little local announcements, and if you have something that's going on in your town or city, some sort of event. When I start doing these long live streams, especially when I start doing the longer ones on Saturday, I'm going to start making some local announcements. And again, this falls into the whole thing that I used to like doing when I used to watch Superhost on Saturday afternoons, because he would do this. See, people would mail him these flyers and he'd show them on air. So I'm going to start making some announcements for things local. You've got to love the warm colors. After all, fall leaves must emanate maple. Yes, indeed. Yeah, maple syrup. Yeah. Do you know something funny about that? I mean, we have the biggest supply of maple syrup here, I think, like in the world, and it comes mostly from Quebec. But it's horribly expensive to get the actual pure maple syrup. I think they overcharge for it, and I think it's an excuse for the grocery stores to gouge people on something like this that is so Canadian. And I mean, because for a 1 liter bottle, they charge like 16 Canadian dollars for it here at like, and that's our delightful Galen Weston, because he needs to buy another yacht. But anyways, that's and extra points, Caleb, for spelling color with a U. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Do you know, I think as Canadians, even though we share a border with the US, lately, as you know, there's a lot of tension right now. I've always, and I've talked about this before, that I've always felt a little more of a kindred spirit with my friends and family in the UK than with the US. I think just because my whole family was like, all my grandparents came from the UK. My grandpa Livingston came from Scotland. My parents were born in Canada, but I know my dad served over in England for a while. My grandmother always went and visited. Hearing a British accent was not an uncommon thing. My mother claimed that she didn't, but she most certainly did have a semi-accent. I always thought was funny. She'd always say, "We don't have an accent anymore." It's like, yeah. Okay. But yeah, and fall, in Canada, the colors, the fall colors, no one really does that like Canada does. When our trees start changing color, because we do have so much forested area that is untouched, that we haven't built over, all that in the north is just something. I don't know if I can bring up a picture that I took. It was in the spring, but I wanted to. Sorry, it was during the summer. So there's this valley with all these green trees, and I thought, oh, I'd love to see that in the fall. But just these little towns buried amongst like massive forests, all orange and red and yellow, and it's really something else to see. Really, really fantastic to see. And one of these days I'll try and get out and get some pictures of that I can put up maybe later in the month. I can share some of those. I would like to get out and get some nice fall pictures. But that's those lazy Americans. They just got to remove out letters where they can. Not much effort to throw in a U because it's color, not color. I know, maybe it's the way they pronounce it, but but Burlington's got some stuff going on here, and that's why I brought this up. Because if you are from the Halton area, which is where I'm in here, we have the Mountsburg Conservation Area has the Mountsburg Spooktacular Halloween. And that is every weekend from October 3rd, which is passed already, to the 26th. And it's between 4:30 and p.m. and 10 p.m. There is tickets. I believe they were $17, but you can go to the website and find out. And I'll have to bring that up. I've lost the website on there. But you can always go to halton.ca. I believe it's halton.ca/spooktacular. And you can find out all the details there where that's going on. And they also have Falling for Burlington Downtown. Oh, that one's passed already, sadly. I should check these first before I read them. Oh, the Great Pumpkin Trail, the RBG's Great Pumpkin Trail, October 16th to 19th and 24th to 26th. Time ticketed from 5:30 p.m. That's the Royal Botanical Gardens, and that is just between Hamilton and Burlington, right by the bridge. A can't miss fall event. The Great Pumpkin Trail invites families to explore Henry Park after dark, where hundreds of hand-carved pumpkins light the paths. That'll be something to see. Add in live entertainment, seasonal activities, and you've got the most magical nights of October. I should go to that. This year, the Pumpkin Trail will feature over 10,000 real pumpkin displays. So that will be something to go see. Again, tickets on halton.ca. You can find the information on there for that. And I will have an announcement later for my friends who work at Castle Blood in Pennsylvania. He runs an all year round spooky castle every season. Of course, Halloween is their busiest, and they have events like all the way up till Halloween night. Halloween night is the only time they don't have an event because everyone's out on Halloween doing stuff, and they find that it's actually not that busy on Halloween night. But leading up to it, they're very busy, and they have a fantastic show. And the afternoons, they have a no scare show if you want the families to bring the kids. And I'll bring some information up on that later. You can also find that at thecastleblood.com. And that is, I think, that's it from the announcements. Again, if you have something going on in your area and you'd like me to make an announcement, the only thing is I just don't do religious events or political events, just for obvious reasons on the channel. I don't want to make any issues for people. But if you have like a general event in your area and you want me to make an announcement about it, even though I don't have many viewers, I get a lot of people who watch on the repeat. During my lives, I get very few viewers. I've got 3 watching right now. But the repeats, though, I get lots of people watching on the repeats. So people seem to like watching my show the next day. So again, if you have any announcements, let me know. Drop me a message. You can drop me a DM on Instagram, which is also under the same name as my channeler. Under the same name as my channel, Phil Chandler Arts. Add me on Instagram. I've been very dormant on there. I do post a lot in stories, but I haven't posted a lot in my feed in quite a while. There was some reasons behind that. Now, that's another story for another time. I'm going to be starting again, though, to start making regular posts on there. You can send me a DM there. I think that was actually it. I know I wrote a few things down. But that was going to be for next week. I'm hoping to make this like a regular thing. I've been trying so hard to make this show like a regular thing, and it's been difficult to do this. As I said earlier, I have sleeping issues. I have issues with work, and it makes it difficult to make this, to keep up the pacing on this. To make it regular, and I want it to be. I want to be on here. I think it's important that if you do YouTube, they say if you really want to build a following, keep a consistent schedule. Set a time. If you're going to do a live, say do it. Like me, I really wanted to do this at Saturdays, Saturday afternoons. Originally, I wanted to do it at 4 o'clock, between 4 and 6, 4 and 7. It's hard for me to get on that early. Now, I know, and I also would like to get some of my UK peeps on here as well. I do get some American followers who are earlier than my time slot, but my UK peeps, they are like 5 hours on top of where we are now. So it is 8. 1. So it's 1. My goodness. Caleb, it's almost 2 a.m. 7 hours of sleep is the minimum it's true. Yeah, they even say you can kind of get away with the 6 and 6.5 as long as you get like good deep sleep in. You have to get like that really deep, rich sleep, and I don't get enough of that. My sleep's been really bad, and it is. I have to see my doctor. Really, this is an issue I've had for years and years. It came about doing a lot of night jobs. When you do part of your life doing security and being a superintendent, where you're up half the night answering stupid phone calls, and then you can't get back to sleep, and your nerves are shot all the time. And then I've never been able to fall back into a proper schedule. It's messed me up. I feel like it's aged me about 5 to 10 years out of where I should be. But yeah, it's I myself need to get better scheduling. I just try to do something once a week on YouTube. Yeah, it's hard. It's really, if you have when you have a life and you want to do YouTube, but my job doesn't, because it's a part-time schedule and it's all over the place, and I get called in on short notice to cover shifts for people who are sick and they can't make it, or whatever happens, and then you can't do it that night, right? And now it's so you can't keep a schedule. You try to do it when you can. So the one nice thing, at least, that YouTube does offer is that they have they offer it. It's part of their whole system for ages. You can make the video, upload it, and then set a premiere time. So I can, if I want a video, say once a week, I do like a regular pre-made video. I can shoot it, edit it, put it together, upload it to YouTube, and have it set to premiere at a specific time. So say every Monday at 8 p.m., just an example, that video is going to pop up. It doesn't matter when. I can have it ready by the end of the week. By the end of the week, and Friday or Saturday, I can put it up. And it's good to do that. Apparently, it's good to let it go up first and let the algorithm read it, figure it out, and it will try to put it out to the right people, your audience, that would be interested in that video. So they said it's good to put it up and let it have a little time in private, and then have it premiere on a date a few days later. And apparently it does better that way. So that's something I think I'm going to start doing. But your lives are live. So they just go up whenever you just do them, right? I'd like to try and keep Saturdays off work, because I think Saturdays is a good night to do this. And generally I don't work Wednesdays, and that would be another nice night that I want to start my art block again that I used to do with Enrique. That I'm going to try and start doing on Wednesday nights, as well as kind of a drawing show. So Wednesdays and Saturdays for lives, and then maybe on Mondays I'll try and do release a pre-made video. I shot a video a week and a half ago. I had to shoot a piece of it that I realized I had missed a complete point in the whole video that I was shooting. Had to shoot it to add into it. I'm still trying to finish editing because I keep getting called into work. So so that'll go up eventually, but if that keeps happening, you can't even get it done within a week to have it up and ready. So that's been driving me bonkers. But I'm going to finish this one. I'm going to finish it and put it up and just start getting some videos out at least once a week if I can. And it's good practice for me, because part of it, the editing takes so long, because when I'm doing a pre-recorded video, I have to keep a list of the points that I want to talk about. I don't like it to read a formal script, but I do like things in point form so that I can hit each point and talk casually about it. But my memory is not great, so I have to speak the point, say it to the camera, read what the next one is, then look at it, do the next point. I got to look down and read the next one, continue again. Then all those have to be edited together, and all those little gaps have to be taken out. And I'm actually getting out of breath talking. I might take a little 2-minute break, and I have all these little commercials that I shot, or I shouldn't say shot. Sorry, these little funny little ads that I picked up off of the internets, and I kind of been using these as breaks. So I just need to get a drink, kind of catch my breath for a minute, And I will be back. If I ask everyone, if you can, please stick around for a few minutes, and I will come back. Maybe from there I can try and do some drawing or try and do a bit of work. But Calum is used to staying up. This say it's got to be what 9. It's gonna be like 2 a.m. for you, isn't it? Isn't it? I mean, if that's when you go to bed, but I'm up later than that. I'm actually don't even fall asleep till after 4, and it's not by choice. I would much rather be I would much rather be in bed a lot sooner, but I can't just fall asleep near 2 a.m. Yep. By the way, if I start my Wednesday art blocks, I intend to start wanting to bring in guests, other artists. And that's something, Calum, I would have to talk to you about that. I would actually love to bring up as a guest sometime, but are you still drawing? I mean, you were doing some art for a while, but your videos, I know you do more gameplay and talk about movies, etc. But I know you do draw, and I've seen a little bit of your work. It's quite good. So I was always kind of surprised you didn't post more about that on YouTube. But yeah, maybe one of these nights I might have you up on when I start my Wednesday night. If you're free on Wednesday nights, but I'll talk to you more about that a little later. We'll get that. Anyways, I'm going to run just a short ad while I get a drink. We're going to do 2. There's one of them here that just shows as black, and I never know if that's the right one or not. But we'll try that. We'll get that on. Yeah. All right. We'll be in touch. That I got to start that back up again. I got to talk to Enrique. It might not be for a few weeks, but you're definitely on my list. And Calum will definitely get that going. Anyways, I will be right back after just a few minutes. So please stick around. Don't go nowheres. I'm going to come back, and then maybe I can try and do a little bit of drawing, if that's cool with everybody. I should be back in just a moment. Sorry, that's not the right one.
AIDS may taste like a candy, but AIDS contains one of the most effective appetite suppressants you can buy, and there's no stimulant in AIDS that could make you nervous.
I just wish you'd seen it. High and light and moist.
Stop it, dear. I'm starving.
Look, Betty, you have gonorrhea. You may have given it to somebody else, or somebody may have given it to you. Who gave it to whom doesn't really matter. But what does matter is that if we don't bring the contacts in for examination and treatment, VD will keep right on spreading. So?
Okay, and I believe I am back. How y'all doing? I opened up Clip Studio Paint. As you know, I prefer using Clip Studio. I don't use Adobe any longer. I use other options. I don't support Adobe anymore. One of these days, I'm going to get my other camera hooked up. So I've talked about before wanting to look at this. I got all these like nice Copics, and I've got some paints and all that over here. One of these days I want to have a video where I'm actually working with physical stuff, traditional media, And I can set it up. I can kind of do it with the camera over the desk. It's just really awkward. It stretches the cords across, and it's really messy. So I would really like to figure out a cleaner way of doing that so that I can get it set up and do that. But I think that'd be a lot of fun to actually start doing that. And also the camera view, as soon as I move over this way, you can kind of see the shelf is a mess. You can see the stairs. It looks terrible behind me. So, but I have opened up Clip Studio. I was thinking about using Affinity. By the way, I have the Affinity suite. Well, I have two of the three programs out of Affinity, because they have Affinity Photo, which is kind of they took the idea of Photoshop and they separated the art side of it and the photo side of it. So I do have Affinity Photo, and I also do have Affinity Designer. They also have another one, which I think is Affinity Publisher, I think it's called, but I didn't really have a use for that. So that's the only one that I didn't get, but I do have the other two. And I was going to start doing some demos with it, because it's a little bit of a learning curve using those. They are set up rather differently. But they either were bought by or bought Canva. Everybody's familiar with Canva. A lot of people really like using it, especially businesses like using. Even I liked it. I kind of like using Canva a little bit, not for the ways that most people would think, not actually mostly in an artistic sense, but it's great for doing prep work for doing videos. And it really has a nice selection of music and introductions and things like that you can use for YouTube videos. And so I was considering Canva. They apparently are somehow in affiliation with Affinity, and I don't know who bought what. But it's a bit concerning. Canva is a subscription model. Affinity is not. Affinity is a one-time payment. And that's why a lot of people liked Affinity, is because it was one of the few programs left that didn't have a subscription base to it. Even Clip Studio, although it's cheaper, still has a sort of a subscription base, but it's set up a bit differently. And it's still not very expensive. It's still relatively cheap. But Affinity was like, you pay once, you can even get it on sale during the year at some point. If you keep an eye out, you'll have like a 50% off sale, and you buy it, and that's it. And unless there's like a massive update, like right now it's Affinity 2. If they do a massive update, then you might pay for the update, but that only comes once every couple of years or so. So you didn't mind doing that, because it still wasn't as expensive as Photoshop. And it's a very professional program. You can do everything in it. But now that they've joined with Canva, people are a little bit up in arms, because we've dropped Adobe. A lot of artists dropped Adobe, and we're not afraid to drop Affinity either. If you pull the same stuff, if you pull the same thing on us that Adobe did, you're going to lose a big chunk of us. Right now, if you go to the Affinity website, you can't even buy the program now. They took the pricing and the purchasing page down. And they just have something that says something new is coming, and you can even sign up for their emails to get updates when it gets close to the date to see what's coming. And people are worried. Like, you know, they do it like they've worded it like you should be excited, like, oh, something fun's coming, something new. And we're just like, don't you dare go to a subscription model, because we will drop you like a lead brick in the Atlantic. Like, as I said, we dropped Adobe. We're not afraid to do it again. So I'm fingers are crossed that it's not going to do that. I don't mind if it's like a small yearly fee, like Clip Studio Paint. The way they do it is similar to Affinity, in that when there is a new major update, like there's a big overhaul on the program, and it goes from, like, right now it's Clip Studio 4. When it goes to Clip Studio 5, you pay for that new one, and it's only once every couple of years or so. So that's, I think, like, I know Canadian, I think it's only about $30, and $30 every couple of years is not so bad. And if you want the incremental updates, it's depending on where you're from, it's like $10 a year for the year, the whole year. That's not so bad. If you really like Clip Studio, you don't mind that because it is a big program, and it goes to the people who work on that, who work on the programming, and it helps keep it up and going. So I didn't mind, because it used to be just one-time payment, and then the whole thing was completely free. I never paid into anything again on Clip Studio, and then they went to this, which concerned people a little bit, but because it is so cheap comparison, you don't mind paying it if you know it helps keep the program going and updating the program and making new stuff for it. The other thing too is that we're concerned is the this whole AI thing. Clip Studio asked the public how you feel about it. Do you want us to start integrating AI things in it? And they went, no, we want to keep this as a drawing program. And Affinity sort of did the same thing. They have something in their program that is digital learning kind of thing, but it's not, they don't call it AI, and it's not really technically AI, and it's something you can switch off in the program so you don't have to worry about it. But again, if they just start saying we have new AI tools, everybody's like, all your purists, all your pure artists are just going to drop it like a lead brick again, right? So we'll see. I think that's supposed to be, Affinity is going to have that announcement, I think, end of October. I would have to have a look for that. So if you're ever thinking of getting Affinity as an extra drawing program, or Affinity Photo, whichever it is, hold off. Well, you can't buy it anyways, but hold off on that and wait till the announcements are made. See what that's going to be and if it's worth your time and effort. But I have 4 big programs I like to sort of jump between depending on what I'm doing. Clip Studio is the big one. That's the first one. There's Affinity and Pixelmator Pro, which I really like to use. You can do drawing in it. It wasn't meant to be like an artist's drawing program, but you can do that. It's more of a graphics thing. Pixelmator Pro is great if you want to make thumbnails for YouTube and you want to design those out from scratch. Great for that sort of thing, right? Does a lot of fun stuff with lettering, lots of shortcuts. So, if you're doing thumbnails for YouTube, Pixelmator Pro. And it was bought by Apple, actually, so we'll see what it does. They also have Photomator, which again is their photo program. It's kind of, Photomator is their Lightroom. Adobe Lightroom. And Photomator is great. It's a subscription model. Pixelmator is not. It's a one-time payment. Photomator is subscription, but again, it's cheaper. You can get like monthly, yearly, or you can pay a larger chunk for like a one-time payment. I think it's like a Canadian, it's like $120 or something like that. So it's a big chunk to go down, where I think their yearly is $30 a year Canadian. But wow, it's actually, if you like doing photography, try the free trial on that. It's something else. That it's really amazing. I really like it. I really like it a lot. I would rather use it than Lightroom. So it was I mean, even Affinity Photo. I have Photomator and Affinity Photo, and I still, because Affinity Photo is such a learning curve. But Lightroom, but Photomator, I think I like more than even Affinity Photo, but I use them both depending on what I'm doing. But that's anyways, I'm sitting here yammering away. Somehow I've held on to like 3 viewers. But let's see if I can open this up. I should do some drawing, just some little bit of sketching, do some monster drawing. I can do that. I'd love to get something going here where I can get somebody else on who's also an artist and do a bit of fun drawing with somebody. Maybe we can do some prompts. We'll have something that comes up that's like a drawing challenge. Draw this, this, and this, and have like a list of things, and then we both kind of draw, see what we come up with. And I think that would actually be a lot of fun. But I'd like to get like one or two other artists involved in that. We've done something like that, and but yeah, we can get a couple of other artists on the show and do that. But let me see if I can. I've got Clip Studio open, and to share this is always a Leaf Monster. The funny thing is, I actually did a funny little sketch of something like that. It was kind of a Little Shop of Horrors-esque kind of thing. And let me see if I can bring that up. Give me just a moment just to open this up. I want to share this screen. How did I do that? There it is. All right, there we go. Let me see if I still have that. Oh yeah, this is what I drew the other night. I can open. So I did. It's funny that you mentioned that because I worked on this the other night, trying to I started with the middle one, and then I sort of liked it and wanted to see what else I could kind of do with that. But I forgot I was going to erase that little arm in there, or at the edge of the pot, so it looks like he's. And he's just kind of resting his head there, if that makes sense. But yeah, we could. So I don't know. And we can keep doing maybe a couple more with this. Plants from Venus. I know. I've got. Actually, let me do them the other way here. I'm going to move that over so I'm not so crammed into where I am on that spot underneath. My eraser. I'm forgetting where things are. That's the other thing too, I think, I've noticed. I think maybe it's the lack of sleep, as my memory has not been real great lately. Like people's names. I was in a store looking for something, and I knew what I was looking for. I forget what it was because I was asking somebody where something was. See, I don't even remember what it was I was looking for now. But I couldn't remember the name of it. I was pricing on air fryers, and there was one that was in the flyer. It was at Walmart, and she didn't. Or at that moment, I couldn't think of what it was that I was, and I could picture it in my mind, and I couldn't get slow cooker out of my head. And I went, it's not a slow cooker, not that. It's just, what do you need, a pot? Do you need a casserole pot? No. The thing that heats up and it blows air around and it fries the food with the hot air. And she just kind of looked at me and went, an air fryer? Yeah. Actually, that should go all the way back. Let me do that again. I just screwed that up. Shows you what happens when I'm not drawing that often. I haven't been able to sit down and draw anything in ages because, say it with me, I've been working. So, God, I must sound like a broken record. So yeah, even like just to find time to sit and draw has been a frustration. My friend wants to see the new Tron movie coming out, and I'm all for it, but I need to see the other two again. I mean, I've seen the first one numerous times. I didn't see it in the theater when it came out, even though I would have been old enough to, but I don't know why it didn't catch with me. And then we did see it early on like VHS, because it was out on VHS about just like a year and a half later. And I did. Dylan, hello, sir. Good to see you. Sorry, I'm yakking away here and didn't see you popped in. Happens to the best. I know. It happens just too often. I appreciate it. Yeah, I do want to see it, but I feel like I've seen the first one numerous times. I'm going to try and watch both of them. The second one I've only seen once. I did like it. I know it got a lot of slack, the second one, but I did enjoy it, and I really enjoyed the soundtrack, and I'll sit through it again. But I don't remember it now for the life of me. So I feel like I don't know how connected it's going to be, but See, they've said that before. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. My friend wants to go see it, even just for the visuals. I really like the visuals of it. So, it's a shame because, like, all three of them, like, well, the first two, anyways, didn't. Even when the first one came out, it didn't get stellar reviews. But people went to see it because it was so visually different. video games were kind of a rising new big thing in the 80s, and going to an arcade, arcades were kind of like video game arcades were a new thing in the 80s now, as opposed to just pinball machines and ping pong. You actually had video games, and they were a big thing in the 80s. They really took off. So the idea of getting trapped inside a video game and playing it for real was such a cool thing. So it was a big hit on that respect, but a lot of people said they didn't like the story that much. And then when they did the sequel, I remember there was a lot of hype for it, but it didn't. The 9 Inch Nails songs are good, eh? Okay. 9 Inch, yeah. It's strange they chose 9 Inch Nails. I always thought their songs, although there's a couple that I like, they're so dirgy and depressing. But I'll give it a shot anyways, just because I said I like the visuals. But the second one also, a lot of people said they really liked the soundtrack, and the soundtrack really was kind of cool for the second one. But again, it didn't have the strongest story. Again, really fantastic visuals. When you're taking in special effects, it's a little bit different now than it was back in the 80s. Because in the 80s, it was, even though we look at special effects and go, it's dated, it's crude, it was an art form back in the 80s. Because boy, if you had a scene with special effects, it took effort. It took a lot of effort to make that work, but also to make it visually interesting on the screen. And so movies that had like a lot of special effects, your Star Wars, your Star Trek, even your Indiana Jones movies, they had a lot of matte shots and things like that. But it was a moment. It was like a magical moment when like an effect scene came up. It was, hey, Paul, how you doing? Good to see you. Comics, eh? I haven't read too much in the way of comic books in like a long time. But nowadays it's like a movie comes up and it's got like a bunch of effect scenes. It's like, it's CGI. There's nothing they can't do anymore. It's just like there's no. You'd sit there, you'd watch an old movie back in the day, and you go, "How did they do that? They must use miniatures? Was this a miniature and then superimposed? Was it blue screened? How did they do this? Was it a puppet? Would they build some? What did they do?" And see, that was the fun of seeing a movie back in the day. Now it's kind of just it's just like it's done in the computer. That magic's kind of gone. Yes, I have seen part of it. Yes. Back when I lived at the other apartment, my roommate had the series, and I saw a chunk of that. It was really good. Series made of the man who did this. Yeah, it was really good, and I think should have got actually another season. Thanks, Paul. Cheers, I appreciate it. I'm just doing some little doodling here. And so I'm just, they're just sketching. Oh, you missed the unboxing, Paul. Because we had those Amazon days. Thanks is a cheap thrill these days can be a movie maker's crutch. Yeah, that is definitely true. It's kind of just like it's kids now who have, you can get packages for the computer, your home computer, and these young kids who are in their teens are now making almost Hollywood effects that are that quality, that high quality, just about. So, but where'd it go? So just to give you a little another good season, that is very true. Yeah, Tron Legacy. I I remember watching the last episode. I watched the last few there with it. It was definitely really good. It looked really good. But I was getting this mic. I never thought was the best, and I've got a newer brand microphone that is a lapel mic, and I did an unboxing earlier. And it is one of these little, they're kind of neat. I'll open this up. I'll show you again. I think Scott was around here for this. If you can just hear me again for one moment. There's two in the box, but like you have a receiver, and then there's like a little, it's like a little clip. There's square or rectangular rather. It's not like the typical lapel mic. There's like a little mini microphone with a fuzzy tip. It's these little blocks, but they're really, really cool. And they were on for Prime Days, so I got that. I wanted some lights for back here, but that'll come a little bit later. And as I drop the box, and I got a gimbal for the phone, which I kind of just repackaged, but I got a nice DJI SE gimbal. Which was on sale really cheap on the Prime Days stuff. So, but I'm definitely going to make use out of them. I'm saying, oh, I see you're replying to Paul. List of comics to pick up. It's Aquaman, Batman. Oh no! Psycho ahead of you. One of my teeth came apart. Okay. Oh my goodness. I had a tooth break apart back here, but thankfully it was just sort of like a chunk came off of it. But I've never had it fully fixed. But it's not. It's kind of a cavity. There's no pain, like you. There was no pain. But I know eventually I'm going to have that fixed. They were saying actually it might have to be pulled. I'm hoping not. But yeah, the unboxing was at the beginning. Here, I can show you. I'll just show you this really quick. I don't know if I can take it out again, but it's the gimbal for the phone. I would have liked to have gotten a gimbal for my Nikon camera, but the camera gimbals are crazy expensive. They started around $300, and I wasn't going to spend that for maybe eventually when I'm at that point. But the phone ones are this was on for $70, and it's a nice one. It's a good brand, the DJI, and so I'm going to take this guy out and have some fun with it maybe a little later in the week. So I have a few days off. I was saying Monday is our Thanksgiving up here, so. What's that going there? Weird. Okay. I'm trying to package this back up again. And I'll go back to drawing, I promise. There. I'll have to open up the instructions and learn how to use it later. And I was doing something else as well. Oh, this guy I was doing. I was trying to figure out I need to fix that. And I got a phone call earlier and never did. I was looking at something I did quite a while ago, and I thought of something I wanted to redraw. And so I wanted to, it's nothing pressing, it's nothing important. It was just something I thought I'd work on for fun, but yes, as a matter it's terrible. I do feel bad for you guys. I really do. You're going through a lot right now. Was Terry. Oh, Terry's in here. Hi, Terry. I'm sorry, I didn't even. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for mentioning that. I got to keep an eye better on this. Yeah, if you can hit the like button, that really kind of helps out a lot with the algorithm. And but no, I don't really have like I don't have family anymore, really, right? So Thanksgiving is just sort of a thing. Oh, don't feel bad for us. We're doing just fine. It's all relative, I guess, on where you stand on things, but we're doing all right. Dylan, received my Kickstarter pledge in the mail. Oh, okay. Griff Gissel, let's call. Oh, all right. Came from the UK. It could affect the price. Yeah. I need to change this guy. This is not kind of what I was originally planned. The face is all right, but that's not. But I was talking earlier about Thanksgiving, and I know when Scott was in here earlier, I was talking a little about the fact that we have ours a little earlier in the year, and I'm kind of glad we have it in October. I like that it sort of coincides with Halloween. It's just a couple of weeks from Halloween because it is sort of a fall event, and because the American Thanksgiving is so close to Christmas, you have this big dinner, you have the whole family over, and you have this big dinner, and then less than a month later, you're going to kind of do it all over again. Whereas here for our Thanksgiving, at least it's early in October. So we have a little over 8 to 10 weeks. Good 10 weeks actually before you have to do it again. So it gives that bit more time. It is closer to Halloween, but I don't know. It was always fun that it was close to Halloween because it is this fall event. They always kind of went hand in hand to have Thanksgiving and then have Halloween, and it was always fun for me. So and it's such a nice time of year because you have all the fall colors, and it's not too cold yet. So I wanted this guy to have a skinnier neck and make him a little goofier looking. But he was, I had to find it again. I had this, I don't know what I've done with it. I was making these little faux comic covers for comics that didn't really exist, but they were these silly covers. And I only made about 3, but they were fun to make. I was having a lot of fun with them, and but can't really do anything with them other than just go, these are cool. But there's work that I do eventually want to start making into like t-shirts and mugs. When it's hard to sell original stuff, when you want to sell it, put it on a shirt or merch, right? People want something they're familiar with, so they'll buy. They'll buy something if it's something that resonates with them. You put the Golden Girls on something and it'll at the wazoo. I have a friend of mine that does all this Golden Girls merch, and he's licensed to do it. He can actually do it, he has this guy's. He's got connections. He's it's Glenn Hansen. He does a lot of like retro, like stuff that you grew up with on TV in like the 80s and 90s, and he actually has a manager that tells him you have the rights to do this, but not this. So as long as he can get the rights to it, he can produce it. He's done images of like the Jeffersons. What was another one he did? Like all these kind of like TV shows. He did one for Saturday Night Live. But yeah, so he's at Golden Girls as well. He does all kinds of Golden Girls merch. If you type in like Glenn Hansen Golden Girls, you'll see his stuff. It's on like shower curtains and aprons and shirts and hats. It just has on everything. But it's things that people are familiar with. That they'll buy. That's why I have this. Eventually I'm going to get this produced on more shirts, because even though you know what it is, it's really cool. I'll see if I can bring the Jeffersons one up. But he's also not cheap. He's expensive, but he's really good. Like, his stuff is really good. Like, it looks like he does it in such a way that it looks like he's making an animated version. Like, if there was an animated version of that show, he would draw them to look like that. Just amazing. So I did this. I says, what if Doctor Who was regenerated as a cat? And so I did this a while back, and I had it put on a shirt as a test, and I was going to produce them. You can see I don't say Doctor Who anywhere on it. I just said the next generation will give him 9 more lives. And if you understand Doctor Who, you get the joke. George and Wheezy shower curtain. You know what? Let me see if I can find the image, and I'll bring it up. Because it was a family shot of them in the living room. There it is. This is amazing. Oh my God, this guy's stuff is so incredible. I just need to get it up. I'll see if I can save it. And then to my desktop so I can bring it up. And I'll just open it here in Clip Studio. So it's the living room scene with all the characters in it, actually. But that's there. Can you see that? Yeah. That's his stuff. Like, oh God, he's disgustingly good. He's such an inspiration to me. Like, a lot of times, sometimes I'll look at his stuff to give me some ideas of drawing. I don't want to copy his drawing style. Obviously, I have my own, and I don't want to. But he helps give me some ideas on what I'm doing, and but that's just like one sample of what. And I think he was commissioned to do this. Like, I think somebody wanted it. What happens is somebody will say, "I would like this. Can you do this show? Can you do the Jeffersons?" And you'll say, "Yeah, it'll cost like $300." But he does it digitally. He'll send them like a high quality print, and he sends them the digital color image. So they have a print, a JPEG of the image, a high quality JPEG. But he retains rights to also use it, so he can also produce this. And they're on different layers. So, like, if you wanted just George and Wheezy, I think you can get that just on a layer on itself. That can, like, it'll be separate from the background. But yeah, he's and it might let me cost a little less money, but every time you want an extra character in it, it's more money. So that's why you see his son's not in there, the mother's not there. So it's just sort of the straight main characters. But there's 6 people in there. So I'll close that off. But that's see if I can just bring something else here. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, I don't think he would have the rights to do, because that's Hanna-Barbera. I'm going to just go back and read some of this. Prefer Scooby-Doo? Yeah. Scooby-Doo is like, there's lots of stuff in print for Scooby-Doo, obviously. Bought point character drawing by Taco Book 1 and 2 yesterday. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. He has the right, so he can keep selling. He can keep, and that's he spells that out right from the very beginning and has that arrangement. One of my favorites that he did, and I want to order a print from him, and I was supposed to a while ago get a large one, and then they discontinued selling the larger ones. Now they're just 8x10s. But he did, if you remember, 1 second here. I'll see if I can bring this up. It's not very big, but it'll be enough. Where'd it go? Damn. 1 second here. Do you remember? Oh, this is crazy. Why is it not? I apologize. Give me 1 second. This thing's giving me a bit of trouble. There we go. Do you remember a movie from the 60s, this terrible sci-fi movie called Barbarella, but it's hysterical. It's not that great, but it is a funny movie. He did and it wouldn't be something I would think of buying a poster for, but I loved this so much. And it's kind of a style that I like. I love this kind of movie poster kind of thing. And it's in a style that I would do. If I was to make something like this, I would do something very, very similar. You have the main character front and center. You have all the secondary characters kind of around in the background. The more important characters are more forward. You have little props and things from the show circling it, and in such a way dynamically that it's compositionally that's really, really good. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, his stuff is like, all his stuff is like this, and it looks like it's a poster for an animated version of it almost, right? Like you expect these to be actual animated characters, but it's just the way he's drawn them. If I can zoom in on this, I may have shown it before, Dylan. Maybe that's why. It's a little bit fuzzy. I apologize, but oops. But yeah, all the characters, everything that's in the movie, and look at all of it's in there. And I think that should be the new DVD cover for this movie. If they ever release it in, like, say 4K, I think that should be the cover for there. That's what originally I was going to look for. But I might have to plug something in here. So, Paul, are you still thinking of like doing some more animated shorts for of Inspector Perez? Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, I forgot about my Halloweens. I should be starting to promote that for Halloween. That I've got to start bringing. I got to start doing. I made these years ago, which I took the idea of these little, taking the shape of a bean and making all the universal monsters on like these bean-shaped heads. And I thought of and I'd made stickers out of one set, and I don't know where they are now. Then maybe pick up the best and work on it. Yeah. Oh, let me know if you do. See, it's not an art for prints. I don't know where some of my stuff is. I have all these folders now that I've separated stuff, and I've mixed some of it up. And I don't even know where some things are. But I wanted to find this thing that I had. You've heard of Gold Key Comics, and I made this faux kind of comic line called Silverlock. Silverlock Comics, because I couldn't use Gold Key since they've been bought up and they're starting to produce comics again. And I made just a couple of funny, because that's when I did Detective Gary and Snoops. That's where that started. That was kind of the first one. And but I don't know. It's not an art for prints. So much stuff that I started and just have never been able to go back and finish. Art tools completed. Even another Detective Gary I started. Yeah, I had started that. I was almost going to try and maybe make a little short comic, but I kind of drew a blank. I didn't know what to write for them. And I was working on so many other things, and I wanted to go back to doing my Star Tales comic. Well, actually, I wanted to animate that. I know where I can find it. It's on Facebook, the other one. Larry and something. I forget what it was called. It was this weird monster that lives with this guy, but he irritates him. And he's like, "Why are you such a dick, Larry?" I need to go back in and see if I can find this. It's going to bug me now until I find it. Larry and Bentley, that was it. And this was kind of so that was kind of and I was thinking of redoing this one. But it was nice for you to pop in there, Paul. Sorry, I've been kind of all over the place tonight. This kind of wasn't really kind of what I intended here tonight, but that's okay. I'm glad. It's always nice to have you pop in, though. One of these days, I'll be able to start doing it Saturday afternoons properly once I can get my sleep better. But you too, man, you're up way too late. Go to bed. Young man, it's almost 3 a.m. Always nice to have you on, Caleb. Always nice to have you on. Hope to see you guys again. You guys take care. Get some rest, both of you. Love you guys. Mean it. But yeah, this was... I even made the logo and everything. Did I ever show you the... I'm not sure if I... Oops, okay, this I can close. That was off. I had to grab that off of Facebook. I'm not sure if I ever... Let me get rid of these because I don't want to keep other people's stuff here. If I showed you you've seen the Detective Gary and Snoops. I did 2 versions of it. There it is. That's the one. Because it was this that everybody kept telling me I should make into a full comic, and I would actually love to do that, but I have so many other things on the go, and it was only meant as a joke. It was actually to test out these retro tools, these retro drawing tools that and they were through True Grit. Oh, cheers, Paul. I appreciate it. I just saw that now. Thanks. I really appreciate it. But originally I made this and I put up Gold Key because I used to read Gold Key comics when I was young. And then Gold Key was bought up and they started producing comics again. It was a whole company. I went, oh, I can't put gold key on there, but silver lock just was kind of like enough to kind of be to hint at it, to spoof it without actually saying exactly what it is. But this was like you see all the cracks and everything in here, and the grain of the paper, and the, if you zoom in close, if I can zoom in here, all this was all the retro, like see especially the black, and if you zoom into the lines, it has what they call distressing, where it adds that paper grain, and when your fingers get on that paper and it wears down the paper, right? You can see it's all spotted back here. Here you can see some of the grain, especially in black. You would see it wear the black off, and that's what the tools did. And they have lots. They have such a huge library of different tools, and they have all these great, like the yellow. Like see how this is supposed to be white, but it looks a bit aged. It's yellowed. Really, really amazing stuff. All this is all like this paper here, the damage done on the side, the discolor on the edge here. It's like where the edge of the book is. All of that's all tape marks. You can get coffee ring stains, all kinds of things like that. It's great. So it was originally, I did that after I bought some of those tools and I wanted to test it out. And I only really got 2 or 3 finished. I didn't end up making many things with it. But because I was making so much stuff at the time, I did. That one is for Prince. Yeah, that was kind of, I think, just it for using the distressing tools anyways. Now the hollow beans, I should show you these. So I had these made into stickers, and this will be a good chance for me to kind of promote this while I'm sitting here yakking. This is a good time to bring these up. Because it started with just 2 or 3, and then I ended up making the whole series of my Universal Hollow Beans. And I originally started with Dracula and Frankenstein, but I would have a bean theme with them because they were bean shaped. So there was Dracu-bean. I was trying to think of some ways I could. Frankenbean was easy. That was just obvious, right? And so, as I said, these were all made into stickers, just minus the backgrounds. Whatever was in the background, I couldn't do through the stickers, because it was a small sticker book, about so big, and it had all 8 of them on there. The Bride, this is one of my favorites, actually, this one. Whoops. I love this one, actually. This one turned out really good. But I could make them. I was thinking of making them as actually full-size stickers with the background on it. The werewolf bean, I kind of want to redo this one. I think it's okay. I don't know, something in the face bothered me a bit. That might be all right. Something on the nose I didn't like too much, but I might. The mummy I really did twice. The mum bean is the wolf bean. The I wish there was a way I could. Oh, there. I wish there was. Yeah, the first one I did was way too grotesque. And it's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be cute. And I thought, oh, I just made like this zombie-looking thing. It was hideous. So I kind of restructured this one so he'd still be kind of a little gross-looking, but be kind of whimsical at the same time. So that's how that one came about. I liked the Invisible Bean. This is the one that makes my friend laugh every time she sees it. There's if I could zoom in, I really did. I didn't know how to do the visible one, and when I looked at the original movie, he had the goggles and the hat, and I thought just adding a little mist like he just disappeared. But the goggles I got carried away with, and you can see there's like a reflection of the mist. There's the light in the goggles. I did a lot of work on this, and to get the that contraption to look just right. I spent like way too much time on. At the point I went, okay, then I'm almost borderline doing photorealism here. This is just a bit much. But I liked how that one turned out. This was the new one I made. I had 2 title cards. This looks very... This is back when Photoshop used to have that... they had the thing that could turn your lettering 3D. And I took advantage of that at the time. I don't think it has it anymore. I'm not sure. I dumped Adobe, but while I had it, I did this, which I thought looked really, really cool. This turned out really nice, actually. I like that one. Oh, I forgot. I got 2 more here. This one drove me nuts because as much as I liked the underwater effect, why is this not going to full screen? The face was never 100% what I wanted it to be, but I reached a point where I thought most people aren't going to care anymore. He looks like what he's supposed to look like. But instead of working the word being in there, I couldn't help but call it the creature from the Black Lagoon. So, yeah, that was a bad pun. My friend told me she laughed. She says, that's just silly. I says, I know, that's the idea. But I did like how the water effect in the background turned out. That actually was that was actually a lot of fun. And then the last one I did 3 times, and I'm still not 100% satisfied with this one. But it is what it is. And it's the Phantom of the Bean. I don't know whether to call it the Bean of the Opera or the Phantom of the Bean. But I was getting away from like the bean shape, and this one still didn't look right. The eyes are off, and I just got to the point I didn't care anymore because the first time I did it, it looked like a Simpsons character. And I thought it just looked. It was one of the school kids out of The Simpsons. It looked like it was just completely wrong, and I got to redo this one because it drove me bonkers, and I said, "There's no way I'm doing that." There's another one for Halloweens. Yeah, that's all the same thing. So that was it. And you can see that I just did the organ. I didn't know what to do for it, so I just did the pipe organ and the smoke and then the notes swirling around in the background. And that worked. That was it. And that was all of them. I didn't know who else to really do. I suppose I could add more in there, but I figured 8 was plenty. They took me a long time to do those. And somebody thought the idea of doing like sci-fi creatures maybe, but it was my favorite. Oh, okay, yeah, it was mine too for a long time too. I really liked it. I think because it was this full body costume, and you look so almost kind of lizard-like almost. And and do you know a little story behind that? I don't know if you know this, Dylan, and anyone else watching. The creature from the Black Lagoon was originally designed by a woman, and I'll have to dig up her name again. I don't remember off the top of my head what it is, but I can see if I can dig it up. She's long since passed away, but she is finally getting the credit now that she was long overdue for, because when the film got made and then they have to start doing the promotion for it to put it out in theaters, there was this whole issue about the fact, first of all, that it was a woman that made it. and that the director wanted to, or the director producer wanted to take the credit. So she was not allowed to do any of the. There is a book, yes, there is a book now that finally tells the whole story. She was the producer, like they really screwed that poor woman around, and she never saw any credit for that during her lifetime. It's about time they finally gave her credit for what she deserved. Oh, hey, Matt, you missed almost the whole thing, man. I did the unboxing. I did some chatting with some people. I brought up a bunch of pictures. I've been, how long have I been going for now? I've been down 2 hours now. Good heavens. But yeah, I can show you. It'll be the third time I bring it up. The mic looks really nice. I'm not using it just yet because I want to get the instructions, and I probably have to stop the stream and then rehook it up. But it's the packaging for both of these is really nice. Like the box on this is just superb. And my apologies, Dylan. I'll back just a minute. But there's a pouch with it. I just couldn't get back in. But they're a little smaller though, which is fine. That's good actually. But yeah, it's really, really nice. I don't know if you can see that, but they're in like it looks really professional. Like they're in this nice foam. I don't know. I'm really impressed with that. So I'm keeping the box for that too. So I'll go through the instructions and I'll test out the mic. Maybe I don't know. Maybe later on I might do one more like really late night stream for like a half an hour or so just to test the mic out and see if I can get it to work. But same thing with the this guy too. This came and looks really nice. I'm looking forward to playing around with the. I won't get it out now. It's kind of wedged in there, but the gimbal. So yeah. So that came today about 5 o'clock this afternoon, I think, or a little before 5. But God, yeah. What else did we? And I was just kind of going over a couple of my Halloween stuff because I had my Halloween stickers. I don't know. I had a package of them, and I was selling these packs of these stickers, and they were like, I was selling for like $5 each at the time, and I have to find where those stickers are. Oh yeah, yeah, I guess I could do that. I can test that with the phone then. Yeah, see if it works with the phone. I'll try and do that. That's a good idea. Yeah, maybe so. If and watching, if you're on the TikToks under the same name, Phil Chandler Arts, you can come and see me there. And I had did I delete that already? I didn't. This thing you're looking at here, so a bit of a story behind what I was doing. Long time ago, I was trying to do these faux comic book covers, and I was making just some funny. Because remember Gold Key Comics? They did like Turok, Son of Stone, and they did a whole bunch of like cartoons, like funny cartoon stuff that and now they're old like retro covers. They did the Flintstones too. I think they did the Flintstones, but anyways, they did. So I wanted to make like a bunch of like little fake comic covers with just silly covers on them, and I had this one that I thought of redoing, but it was, and I couldn't call it Gold Key because the rights were bought back up for Gold Key, and they've actually started producing comics again. So Gold Key is back in business, and they still have the same logo. So I just come up with the idea of something called Silverlock, and this was the original one I did of Larry and Bentley, and I thought of like doing a series of these covers, but but I was thinking I wanted to I was never really kind of happy with the dragon, and I wanted to redo it. So although now that I'm looking at it, I kind of like it. Maybe I don't need to redo that one. But there was that, and I think you've seen Detective Gary. There was a Detective Gary. Well, that was the first one I did because I was testing out these retro tools that make it look like old comic book covers. So it's things like the grain texture, the distressing. When you get your finger on comics and it rubs off some of the ink, it would do that. The cracks in it, the edging, all that stuff, right? So it was these really cool tools that made that. So but I can't find the oh, here. I have way too many folders for my stuff, and then when I go to find something, I can never find it. Oh, here was the stickers. Like this was the Halloween stuff. I gotta find these. This was the layout piece for the stickers, but I can't find where the stickers are. I'm not. Oh, is it not refreshing? It's so refreshing. Oh, okay. I read that wrong the first time. I thought that was. But yeah, I did these like a little sticker, and I was selling them for $5 each, and I had a packet of 10, and I only sold about 3 or 4. And I have these. They're probably in storage, is where they are. If I can find them, I would love to. I would love to advertise them here again and maybe try and sell them, but I don't know where they are, and I'm out of time now to get them reprinted. There was an issue printing them because you have to leave enough space in between them, right, to have that white around it, and it was a hard time arranging them so that they could peel off properly, so they weren't overlapping each other. Then they would have that room for them to peel, right? And you have to lay that out in their packaging. And I remember going through that whole process, and they sent it back to me a couple of times saying this still isn't right, this isn't right, and I tried to get it just right, and then they kind of helped me with it, and I finally got it. But and then the packaging, where'd it go? Do I have the packaging? I wanted this made up. So bad. And it just cost too much to have that box made up for it. But this was originally what I wanted. Can I blow that up a bit more? Whoops! Oh, too much. Okay. So this was the design for the package, but it just costed way too much. But that was what I one day I'll make that. No. Oh, it's going to bug me that I have no idea where those are. And I was really kind of hoping to find them before Halloween came up. And this year has just been out of control for me. And I don't know where they are now. And it's bugging the hell out of me that I don't know where they are. But yeah, so the idea was that I took the shape of a bean, right? There's that kind of bent oval shape, and I designed them with all the Universal monsters on them, and in that shape. And they're just supposed to be silly. They're supposed to be silly and fun. And I had all of them done. Originally, they all had them up earlier. They all have like backgrounds, and yeah, I didn't know whether to make them as like full rectangular stickers with the backgrounds, or just have the heads that can peel off. And somebody said, no, just do the heads. It's a little cheaper, and people will like that. They can stick it on their laptops or whatever, right? They like that sort of thing. So, yeah, I got to figure out where those are. It's going to drive me absolute bonkers until I find them. I'll have to bypass it this year and have to do it for next year. But What was the other thing I was looking for? Detective Gary. Sorry, I did the wrong thing here. There. I'll bring this one up again because I don't know if you saw this one earlier. So, and that was one of the other ones I did. I don't know yet. If I can find my old, I had like a wizard robe. I'll see if I can find that. If I can find the wizard robe and the hat, maybe I'll just do that. Or I'll have to go back to the storage, but I have these funny hats and this purple shirt, and it just looks a little bit whimsical. It'll be sort of a funny, not really a clown costume, but it'll just be something to look a bit silly and whimsical. But it means going into storage and digging all that up. But there was the Detective Gary cover, and somebody was telling me I should do like a Detective Gary comic, and I was like, I didn't know what to do with it. I thought I can't write for this. I don't know. And I also wanted to do my Star Tales comic. Whoops. There's a bunch of stuff I never did finish. God, I got a bunch of things I never actually ended up going back and finishing. This was Halloween banner. You'll see this go up on my YouTube, or sorry, Facebook. It'll go on my Facebook banner. Will be this, and I to see if anyone recognizes this because it was a witch from cartoon in the 70s called Witch's Night Out, and it was this funny, silly cartoon that looked like it was made by like about 5 people. It was really low, but it had like some big name voices in it. Gilda Radner I think she did the witch. She did one of the voices in it. So it had some like big names in it, but it was really low budget. But it's funny as hell. It was so bizarre. I think it was just a story of these 3 kids who weren't allowed to go out for Halloween. And this witch finds out about it. And she's like, well, we're not having this. So she flies to their house and promises and tells them for one night they can be whatever they want to be. And she turns them into these scary Halloween things for one night. And but the characters are it was so 70s because they were all solid one color. It's actually, the whole cartoon is on YouTube. If you look up Witch's Night Out, the characters are all like just one single color. Oh, you probably have, Dylan. Yeah, it's Mars Manners, yeah. I'm starting to get kind of hungry again. I was looking for something else. Maybe what I might do is maybe I'll finish up here pretty soon, and then later on tonight I'll see if I can work out the lavalier, and then maybe I'll go on TikTok. And if Dylan, I don't know if you're on TikTok or not, but you can look me up under the same name, Phil Chandler Arts, and I can maybe try and do that later on. I gotta clear my desk off. I got so much crap on it. I was going to bring this up really, really quick on Clip Studio. Under my painting tools, I have the couple of True Grit supplies, Because like this is like the jittery inker, and you can see like I'll enlarge it. You can see it's how it looks like the ink is seeping into the grain of paper, and they sample the actual thing and then turn it into a marker. So that's what makes it kind of, you can see that's like paper for newsprint, right? When they have to print it in the old style with dots. And it was how they get color in some of these things. So they would the other one I've got here, this one was kind of an expensive set, but they have like a distressed inker. So you could do the different levels and different grain levels. So I could color this with blue, but you see it's all these little dots, right? And then if I go in with yellow, that's what kind of ends up making it. Now that's a heavy yellow, so it does look a little more yellow, but that's where you can see it turns it green by adding those two dots. And it's the old printing process, right? And that's a bit softer, so that one's a bit different there, so you can see it's not as heavy. That one's really heavy. And it might work if one goes on top of the other, so you could do yellow and then do the blue on top of it, and then you'll get something that's a little more greenish. So you'll, depending how you layer them, and then you have the magenta, because that was the three colors they would use. So if you do whether it's magenta or cyan, and then the yellow, however you arrange it will give you all the different colors that you need. And there is, if you look up True Grit Texture Supplies, you'll find this one. And there's a distressed inker to blow it up. This is the one that shows all the little, you can see, if I can zoom that in, see all the little dots in it, right? That look like it's worn ink on the paper. And there's different kinds. There's a smooth one. You can see they've all got very fine distressed texture to it. Oh, that one's really big. This one not as much, but it is gritty around the edge. I think this is the smooth inker is the only one that doesn't. When I come down here, noise fade. Oh, okay, that's something else. Oh, a stain. You can put a stain on it. You can, if I get the yellow out here, you can make that look like a coffee stain, right? There's a splatter stain. That's different ink. Subtle decay. Oh, there. So you do that. You layer that over your paper, and it looks like it's getting moldy or gross, right? So it's really fantastic. Really fantastic, all this stuff. I have a lot of fun with it. There's that's stain. Add paper grain. So there's paper, same idea as the other one. Sparse ink speckles. There's, yeah. A lot of fun, that kit. I really like it. But I have two of them. There's that. And some of the stuff I've got for Procreate. One of these days, too, when I can set the camera up, I can also go into Procreate. And the other one, the Procreate, has the... and I can import the tools in. But it's where I can make... Because I think the detective one was done on the on the iPad with Procreate, because I've got some of the kits on there as well, and that's where it has the page with the cracks on it, right, and all the bends and folds, and that whole thing you overlay onto it, and you can stretch it and make it fit the corners. And if there's a lot on it, but you can go in and erase if there's too many cracks and bends. You can erase bits of it out so it's not as doesn't look as damaged. So you can play with it that way. But I love these. These are. There's another shader. All the different shaders you can get. Yeah. So anyways, I think I'm going to call it for a little bit so I can get a little something to just a little something to eat. I think I've been going for a couple of hours. I need kind of a washroom break. And I think maybe I'll try the TikToks later on. So again, Dylan, I don't know if you're on TikTok or not, but if you want, please say hello if you have to be on there and you catch me. I don't know when. I'll say maybe at the most in an hour. But I'm Phil Chandler Arts. You can find me on there, and we'll do something from there. So, but yeah, it was a good stream tonight. It was fun. I'm glad I did this. I need to kind of get the ball rolling again. It wasn't, again, it's never quite what I wanted it to be, but that's okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I should sort all that out. I forgot. Oh, I'll say that for next time. Okay, never mind. So I will call it. I will say good night, and thanks, Dylan. Yeah, like I said, if you see me there, just say hello. Let me know you're there. But we'll call it here for a night. Thanks everyone for popping in. Everyone that sat through and watched, I appreciate it. And Paul and Caleb, Dylan, Matt, thank you all so much for chiming in. I really appreciate it. And we'll probably, if I don't end up going out tomorrow night, I will try and do another live, but I don't know if my friend's coming in from out of town. If he is, we might be out. But if not, I will probably be on here later on tomorrow night. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Take care. All the best. Happy Thanksgiving to my Canadian peeps. And we'll talk to you all very, very soon in the future. End.